With the collapse of FTX, many people are left in the dark regarding the next steps that they should take with their own crypto assets. The collapse created a mass panic and paranoia that affected many individuals. Because of these, it is important to seek guidance from the experts to know what is the best course of action. We will talk about Raoul Pal's recent interview about the FTX scandal and what is currently happening with the FTX collapse. We will feature Raoul Pal, one of the prominent names in the crypto industry, to share his thoughts and advice on the said scandal. He will also give a rundown on the current news surrounding the FTX crash. What are we waiting for? Thank you for watching Diversified Streams, your go-to YouTube channel for all things crypto and finance. Be sure to check out our community post about these subjects. We are curious to know your opinions on these matters. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the latest news and tips related to crypto. And make sure to keep your notifications on so you'll be updated with our latest videos. We frequently post so you wouldn't want to miss them. So the first news that he told us about is the central bank's decision to move liquidity funds. Since the central banks have been removing liquidity from the system, all assets have suffered. Crypto has since dropped by 75%, similar to many technology equities. Thus, the market has been under pressure as a result of what has been happening. Those who actually need money do not get it. This liquidity cycle has been exploding since June. All of a sudden, you learn that the individuals running crypto-leveraged businesses were blowing up and were unable to obtain funding from either investors or loans. And those have significant effects. Therefore, June was actually worse than it is now because it essentially set off everything. What happened is proof that leveraging and crypto do not go together. In this leveraging, there are hidden items and cheats. This is the Alameda Fund. We were aware of their dubious character. They are claiming that they are legitimate when they are really not. There was possibly $9 billion in debt at that time, which is an astounding sum of money. The precise figures are still debatable at this moment, and it would remain to be for some time. One thing's for sure, the amount of money was astounding. Of course, FTX covered it up. Since June, they have provided Alameda with their FTT tokens. The tokens come from the investments of people. Hence, we can assume that the issue really started in June, but because they are covering it up, it only appears recently. Basically, they hide everything from the public and use their funds as collateral. Their sudden change of strategy also indicates the same thing, public deception. Then there is an issue of who is responsible for the collapse. There are a lot of unaccounted personalities in this scandal. First, there was Sam Bankman-Fried. Then suddenly, they changed the CEO. The current CEO boasts about solving the Enron problem in the past. However, this does not make them accountable because it does not change the fact that people lost money. Raoul implied that you do not know what is real with these people because they were so good at deceiving us. Even SBF's personality is doubtful as he seems to build his own persona for the spectacle. In his interview, Raoul Pal also said that SBF is a genius. He is a genius because he knows that banking is trading. With what happened in 2008, it is easy to convince people to try out new things where they could trade their money with less to no regulations. This is what Sam Bankman-Fried understands. Of course, there is also a culture of glorifying smart people. Sam is one of them. Hence, people will trust him with their money. In that aspect, he is very persuasive. The trading in crypto becomes really prevalent. However, Raoul Pal seems to think that crypto trading under FTX is a scam. It already happened before in the banking industry. A huge broker used people's money to invest and to seek capital returns. However, it blew up in their face because it didn't bear fruit. This is what happened with MF Global. This is also the case with FTX and SBF. They used people's money because they thought they could get capital gains from it. Unfortunately, it all blew up. They cannot keep their hands off people's money. Now, the ones suffering are the people who lost their money, while the people involved are still free. Raoul Pal's insights are really helpful in understanding the current situation of FTX collapse. Now, do you agree with his insights? Do you think that SBF is really the only responsible party for the said collapse? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment box. Now, the big question remains to be what really happened. In his interview, Raoul Pal gave his interpretation of this whole FTX scandal. Here is a short clip of it.
The economy, it's harder to borrow money, the whole economy slows down, and we restart. It's called the business cycle. And you and I have talked about this in the past. It's cyclical, because the credit cycle, even without central banks, is you kind of lend or borrow too much money, then something happens at the margin and you're like, oh shit, I borrowed or lent too much money, and you pull it all back. Cycle, but they still create it and use it to try and not let economies go too far, like hyperinflation or depression, whatever it is, right? So that's what they're trying to do. That cycle drives the movement of asset prices. With that cycle becomes the human emotion cycle. And the human emotion cycle is, I'm making a fortune, I'm a genius, I can never go wrong, I'm going to be rich, extrapolate, future to... And if you think about it, and that's exactly what happens to all of us, and we have to fight that demon, is you start extrapolating out, and you start thinking, my vision of my future, just a manifestation of your future self, right? That's what we're trying to do. So you got that vision of what you'd like to be, and to get there, you invest.
According to Pal, what happened is like an earthquake where a ripple effect could be expected to happen. There is more to come, but it won't be as big as the FTX scandal. Scam leveraging firms will most probably rebuild themselves because they would be affected by this scandal. Hence, we can expect more crashes or, in Raoul's term, aftershocks. We all know that the whole crypto world is affected by the FTX scandal. Even the most established coins felt the effects of this chaos. Thus, the volatility of the situation can either make or break other crypto trading platforms like Celsius or Genesis. They are in a very tight position wherein a small movement can also make them collapse. Hence, it is crucial for them to maintain a good stance and strategy to continue working in the crypto industry. People are hyper-aware and hypersensitive of the current situation. It is easy for them to get carried away by their emotions. It is really happening as people are being reigned by their emotions right now. The anger, fear, resentment, and confusion are adding fire to all these chaos. According to Pal, this is nothing he has ever seen before. The 2001 and 2008 collapses cannot compare to the magnitude of the FTX scandal. Of course, this is all understandable. The FTX crash happens at a time where social ills are very prevalent. Inflation, employment, and other societal issues are already plaguing the world. Then, the hope of people turns into ashes as their money is suddenly gone from a promising trading platform. It would really ensue chaos. With all of this, we think that the FTX collapse is a huge lesson for everyone, investors and creators. Greed can take our humanity away. Hatred and anger can take our humanity away. Hence, we should be wary about where we put our energy and assets to refrain ourselves from succumbing to these emotions. FTX is not just an economic fallout, but also an emotional one. Hopefully something will stabilize the crypto world. While it has not happened, we will continue to report to you the latest trends and news on the crypto world, so stay tuned to our channel. And that is it for today's video. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. As always, if you did, please show us some love and support by giving this video a big thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. And make sure to keep your notifications on so you will be updated whenever we post new videos on all things related to crypto. This has been Diversified Streams. Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you in our next video.